Hello everyone and welcome back to the SteemTrail Gaming News. Today is the 16th of January 2018. My name is Kralizec and I will be your host for the evening. Today we got 3 stories for you. We will start with Final Fantasy 15 finally coming to the PC. Secondly, we will look at a spiritual successor to Theme Hospital being in development. And last, the big news of today, a leak shows how companies are using artificial intelligence to push more microtransactions. But let's begin with the good stuff. Let's begin with Final Fantasy. So, Final Fantasy 15 has been available on the market for quite some time at the moment, but it still hasn't made its way to the PC. And finally, we will get to see it. So, it is set to release on March 6, 2018, and it will be called the Royal Edition. Royal Edition will include all released content, including all DLCs, even a few more new goodies would actually be included in this package. So if anybody here is a Final Fantasy fan and is just a PC gamer, then this is the time to be looking forward to. Our second piece of news is actually about a spiritual successor to one of my all-time favorite games, one of the few strategies I actually enjoyed. This strategy was Theme Hospital, though I will admit I did like Theme Park a little bit more, and we will get this game called 2 Point Hospital. It is obviously heavily inspired by the Theme Hospital of the old, because it is actually being revived by an ex-Bullfrog designer. It is being produced by Sega. You can easily find an announcement trailer which is actually hilarious and very well showcases how the game is inspired by Theme Hospital. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. It seems to have the same kind of humor. Actually, even the designs of the characters seem to be pretty similar, though the graphics should be heavily improved, as it's been a long time since we have seen any sort of game in this genre actually released on PC. It has been 21 years since we have seen Theme Hospital released on the PC. That's awful. I have been 6 at that point. Maybe 7, depends on where exactly it was released. But seriously, it was 1997 since we saw Theme Hospital released. And there obviously were a lot of simulator games released in between, but none of them really caught in the spirit of the games of the old, which tried to combine the serious aspects of, like managing the hospital so it doesn't just, run out of business because you don't have enough money, but also introduce hilariousness. I think the closest things that could be compared in terms of humor are mobile games, actually, very often. But yeah, even some PC games like, Game Dev Studio. Those games are sort of similar, but they still are a bit more serious. And going to see something that just takes the piss out of everything will be very nice, and I'm looking very much forward to it, and you can guarantee that I will review this 100%. You can watch a little bit of a announcement trailer that has been released on YouTube if you just search for 2 Point Hospital announcement trailer. It's done in a style of a infomercial, so if you're in sort of parodies, that will totally be your thing. And now on to the last thing of today, the big thing. And so there were some documents leaked that show how developers use artificial intelligence to encourage players to do some microtransactions. I'm going to be reading this off Game Rant because I don't think I could precisely remember all of this, but just to give you a little bit of background. So this year and the end of last year has been the year where gamers have started to revolt against microtransactions, or more specifically against loot boxes. And for good reasons, which I have said many, many times over. I have even made a separate video on my personal channel about it. But in general, the case is just microtransactions tend to be done in a very unfair way. Loot boxes are just glorified gambling systems, and there are many other technologies that gaming companies use to manipulate their customers to spend more money than they would normally do. And this new leak of documents actually shows that the situation is much worse than we ever imagined. I mean, like, this is just freaking horrible. I mean, literally. Oh, sorry, I managed to actually move my microphone. This is probably the thing that Big Brother wouldn't be ashamed of. Like Orwell's Big Brother from 1984. So, according to the documents, which you can actually see for yourself, I included a link in the description, have been taken from digital marketing's firm draft presentation. We don't know the name of the company. I actually think that's good, because hopefully they will see, oh fuck, this is bad, people are not liking it, so we will not do it. And this presentation showcases how developers actually use algorithms. We all were very well aware of that they were algorithms used, and artificial intelligence to prop players into purchasing more things with microtransactions. So now I'm going to read off Game Rant. According to these documents, the nameless data broker has refined the ability to have an AI implement persistent bait and switching methods that can alter a player's game as a whole, which is brazenly dubbed social engineering. Not to mention, the company points to how AI can also modify the player's individual gameplay experience in real time by the way of psychological manipulation tactics. Are you the fucking serious? How isn't this illegal? How isn't this just... What the fuck is this? I mean seriously. What they're essentially saying is that they implement AI into games, so there are points where you just feel like, this is completely unfair. Oh, this is bullshit. And you go in and buy more stuff with microtransactions. I don't even know what to say about this. This is just so completely bullshit and evil that I don't even think EA would do this. Maybe it is actually EA doing this. We don't know what companies are using systems like these, but what the fuck? So, additionally, the leaked documents go into an incredible amount of detail, like how exactly you can use artificial intelligence to spy on players and learn things about them. You can learn things from like gender, which is pretty obvious, as you can just hear that from your voice. Let me see here. So, again, I'm going to be reading off. However, one of the creepiest and most disturbing tidbits explains how AI can actually hear, interpret, and analyze audio cues overheard by smartphones and chat headsets. Whatever one says within earshot of a nearby microphone can potentially be used as a learning materials for the AI to successfully detect race, gender, mood, or even menstrual cycles that can be used to influence players through emotional or logical means to buy microtransactions, or to persuade players to neglect their personal responsibilities and focus on the game. What the fuck? This is so fucking inappropriate. How is this the thing that exists inside the gaming market? How? Companies come out right now and say, we will not do this. We will never ever use any of these systems, even if they would make us more money, because we find it unethical to spy on our customers. We find it unethical to persuade people to neglect their personal responsibilities. Let's go into like a worst case scenario here. Imagine you have, let's say, a 6-year-old child, and the game is slightly, inconspicuously manipulating you into being less attentive. You know, just focus on the game, focus on the game. Obviously, it wouldn't be like this. It would be something a little more subtle. But the child gets hurt. Let's say it eats... what's the thing that's being eaten right now by people? The little things you put in your washing machine, the pods? Imagine if the child eats one of these. It dies because of one of these algorithms. Is this something companies should use? No. No fucking way. No company ever should use any of these systems because... seriously, I was angry about loot boxes, as loot boxes are unethical and get people addicted. These systems could get people actually fucking hurt. And not even talking about worst case scenarios. Just imagine you have a person that gets light into work because of one of these AIs or algorithms, and something happens in work that wouldn't happen if they were there. A work accident, somebody breaks their leg. These things will happen because of these things. These things should be made illegal. I don't care. I don't care if you have to regulate it on a state, federal, global level. These things just should be made completely banned around the world, as they are just fucking evil. Seriously. You know what? Later on this evening, I'm going to go and make a change.org petition to just ban any algorithms that encourage people to neglect their personal responsibilities, any sort of AI or algorithms that spy on people, or just drive them towards microtransactions, as none of these things should exist in the real world, and hopefully there will be a lot of people who will actually do this. And with that being said, that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you're as angry as me, because this is stuff you should be angry as fuck about. If you are, be sure to give a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, leave a comment about this, because seriously, this needs to be commented on. If you're watching this on Steam, upvote again, comment, maybe follow our blog, as we are your source of daily gaming news. And I doubt many people have talking about this on Steam, and it needs to be talked about. And with that being said, that's going to be it. So, see you guys later with more gaming content. Hopefully next time, something a bit more positive.